When you and I last met, we had our hearts broken by not one, not two, but three different men. And if you've ever had your heart broken before, you know that time heals all wounds, my friends. And now that a couple days have passed by, I think I'm ready to pick up the pieces, get back on the horse, and get back in the winning column. My name's CJ Curry. Thank you so much for joining me on today's PrizePicks video. We're gonna be taking a look at the PrizePicks board. I've got 1, 2, 3 total picks that we're gonna look at. Of course, they're all data-driven picks backed by hit rates, matchup data, sportsbook odds, and favorable projections on a number of different player prop models. So if you're into that sort of thing, definitely make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. We're on our way to 18,000 subscribers. You might want to ring that bell, meaning turn on all notifications so that you're alerted anytime I drop a new video. And if you could, leave a like on today's video. I'm going to set the line at 499.5 likes. I'm taking the over because I believe in you and you'll help me get there. Thank you so much for sharing the channel and being a supporter. All right, without further ado, if you're not playing on PrizePicks yet, guys, now's a great time for you to get signed up. Use code Curry, make your first deposit. They're gonna match you dollar for dollar all the way up to $100. Yes, that's a 100% instant deposit match on your very first deposit. All you gotta do, use the special link that I left down in the description of today's video, or use code Curry when you make that first deposit to take advantage of the offer. So we're taking a look at the PrizePicks desktop here. We've got Max Strus as our first pick. He's going up against the Orlando Magic. Now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are gonna be without power forward Evan Mobley. He's expected to be out, as is Karis LeVert, another key role player. So what we're looking at here is Max Strus at 4.5 rebounds taking on my Orlando Magic. So let's start things off here by looking at the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Obviously, I talk about this tool in each and every video. For those of you who are watching for the very first time, what this tool does is it goes out and it looks at all the different sportsbook odds. Then it takes away the vig or the juice, and it basically gives us true or fair odds. And then you can see that Max Strus is #1 on the optimizer right now, giving us a 54.6% chance that he is going to go over 4.5 rebounds. That's -142 odds. So the odds are on our side. The wind is at our back. We're going with the current instead of against it, okay? So there's a lot to like here. This is definitely a plus EV play, a positive expected value play. And you guys might want to hit the pause button and take a look at some of these other plus EV plays on the board. There's going to be some that we don't talk about that might end up hitting right off of this tool. If you're not using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, special link down in the description of today's video. Get your hands on it. This is the tool responsible for those bumps up, those bumps down, and when those props get taken down from the PrizePicks board, it's because of this tool right here, the most influential PrizePicks tool on the market. You gotta have it. It's almost a must. And another tool that I really like is this one. It's props.cash. Let's take a look at Max Strus's game logs this season. He's at 4.5 rebounds. And in the 22 games that Strus has appeared for the Cleveland Cavaliers, he has exceeded 4.5 rebounds in 13 of 22. That's almost a 60% hit rate. 59% hit rate. Now, as I mentioned, Evan Mobley is slated to miss today's game. If we look at the last 5 games here, I just want to isolate and draw your attention to this very last game, the most recent game, which was against Strus's former team, the Miami Heat. The reason I call your attention to that game is because no Evan Mobley for that game. He actually sat out, and in his absence, Max Strus crashed the glass. He ended up with 7 rebounds, and we need 5 today. So 1 game played without Evan Mobley, very small sample size, but he did have 7 boards in that particular matchup. So now that we know it's a plus EV play, that he's hit this at a pretty high clip all season long and the consistency is there, and he's 1 for 1 without Evan Mobley, let's go ahead and take a look at some projections using a number of different player projection models. Going with these projections, gang, will help you with your decision making. So let's start with this first one. Max Strus on Fantasy Labs at 4.5 rebounds. He's projected for 4.8 rebounds, which gets him closer to 5 than 4. And of course, we need him to get 5. And you're already seeing FanDuel. FanDuel's got him up at 5.5 rebounds. I could see this one probably getting a half a point bump. In other words, he'll probably go from 4.5 up to a solid 5. I doubt you see him get up to 5.5, so we might get a little bit of value here, getting him at over 4.5 rebounds. But let's check a second projection here on Max Strus, and this one's going to be brought to you by RotoWire. RotoWire's got him at a sky-high projection of 6.69 rebounds, well over the 4.5 number that he is currently sitting at on PrizePicks as of the recording of this video, a little bit after 3 a.m. Yeah, the early bird video. So yeah, 2 projections for Max Strus, have him going over 4.5. We're going to check one more site here. Again, these are not my sites. These are not my projections. This is data that can be accessed by anyone. In this case, I'm just sharing with you what I'm finding. And on this third projection, which is provided by NumberFire, a free site that you can check out, 4.8 rebounds for Max Strus. Again, getting him closer to that 5 number, which is what we need for him to clear the 4.5 hump. So for me, I've seen enough for that to be a more play. Max Strus for more than 4.5 rebounds. Again, nothing's guaranteed, nothing's promised. I don't want to hear the complaining, the whining, and the groaning and moaning in the comments section if Max Strus has 4 rebounds. All right, if you take this pick, I'm assuming that, like me, you like what you see on the projections, on the hit rates, etc. Okay, we're riding with the data, we're riding with the number. Max Strus at more than 4.5 rebounds. Second pick of today's video, Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. He's at 12.5 rebounds and assists, taking on the Denver Nuggets. So let's go take a peek at how Trae Young's been performing at the 12.5 rebound and assist number. You can see that overall, pretty nice hit rates here. 12 out of 19 games this season, he's had at least 13 rebounds and assists. That's good for a 63% hit rate and a 13.4 rebounds plus assists average. Now, one other thing that I want to draw to your attention here is the fact that Trae Young, when playing at home in Atlanta, seems to do an even better job at covering this line. So if we go and click on this home filter on props.cash, you can see that Trae Young's home games, a total of 9 games, he's gone over in 6 of 9 playing in Atlanta. So that's a 67% hit rate, 12.8 rebounds plus assists. And it's not just a recent thing. That's not just a this season thing. If we even go back to all the games that he's played this season and last season, and kind of just look at those averages, those splits at home versus away, you'll see his away rebound plus assists average 12.6, but you see the home average 14 rebounds and assists. So again, Trae Young just doing a lot better job when he plays at home at covering the 12.5 rebound and assist number. Taking a look at the DVP, the matchup here, the Denver Nuggets have actually given up a pretty healthy amount of rebounds per game, 2 point guards over their last 7 games, 7.6 rebounds per game, plus another 8.2 assists per game, bringing him up to almost 16 rebounds and assists. That's how many that the Denver Nuggets have given up to point guards over the last 7 games. So not a bad matchup versus Denver whatsoever. Now, again, we're always making sure that we're playing plus EV plays. We want to make sure that the odds and the juice and all that stuff is in our favor when we're playing on PrizePicks, all right? And so this case, going back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, you see Trae Young at 12.5 rebounds and assists, 53.3% chance that he's going to go over that number. You're even seeing him at 13.5 rebounds and assists on a site like FanDuel. So again, kind of like Max Strus, I don't know that this will get a full point bump from 12.5 to 13.5, but I would not be surprised if this went from 12.5 to maybe 13 rebounds and assists. So let's try to get in there like swimwear before the bumps start happening. But before we do that, we got to run the projections on Trae Young again. Again, we're going to be looking at a few different projection models. This first one, again, is provided by Fantasy Labs. They've got him at 12.9. That's really close to 13, so 13 or more, and Trae Young pays us and gets us in the green. Taking a look at a second projection, this is RotoWire again, 13.8 rebounds and assists there, so well over the 12.5 number. And then the third and final projection is going to be provided by NumberFire. Let's bust out the calculator to make sure that our math is mathing. When we do that, 3.1 rebounds plus 10.1 on the assists gets him up to 13.2 rebounds and assists, again, higher than 12.5. So I think that there's enough historical data here, matchup data, and projections for us to feel somewhat confident about taking the over on Trae Young at 12.5 rebounds and assists. If you don't like it, you disagree with it, hey, you're not going to hurt my feelings by not taking it. Or maybe you just take the under. I mean, if you're really feeling that confident that Trae Young's not going to do what he do, you could always take the under. It's totally up to you guys. Spend your money wisely. Let's get into the third pick. Spencer Dinwiddie of the Brooklyn Nets, our thumbnail player of the day. Spencer Dinwiddie, 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. In recent days, we've seen the Brooklyn Nets healthier than they've been in a long time. Cam Thomas is back in the lineup. Cam Johnson's back in the lineup. And of course, you got Mikal Bridges, Dorian Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal. They got a lot of bodies that like to do a lot of different things. A lot of overlap on this team. They really probably should make some trades, but I digress. Let's take a look at Spencer Dinwiddie back again on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We're going to just punch his name in here. And when we do that, we can see that 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's got about a 53.2% chance of going under 27.5. Some other encouraging news is that every sports book that's out there right now, Pinnacle, FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Caesars, BetOnline, etc., has Spencer Dinwiddie 1 point lower than PrizePicks does, meaning we are getting value here. PrizePicks is out of line in this case, putting him up at 27.5 PRA. Seems like he's just a tad too high. Now that we know it's a plus EV play and that we have the odds blessing us, let's go take a look at his hit rates this season. At 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists, you can see that this season he's played 20 games. He's only gone over this number in 7 out of 20 games. That's a 35% hit rate. Or if you want to flip that on its head, he's stayed under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 13 out of 20 games, a 65% hit rate. So most of the time, he's going under 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Now, what makes Props.cash such an invaluable tool is the fact that you can go ahead and you could start adding players to the mix here. What do I mean by that? Well, you go down here and you could put, I only want to see games with Dinwiddie and Nick Claxton together. And then you could say, I only want to see games with Dinwiddie and Cam Johnson, games that they've played together. And then you could add Mikal Bridges into the mix. And you could also add Cam Thomas into the mix. And then what you're left with is a sample of 5 games from this season. In those 5 games, Spencer Dinwiddie only went over 27.5 points, rebounds, and assists in 1 game. It was against the Orlando Magic. So he has went under 27.5 in 4 out of 5 games, an 80% hit rate, with Claxton, Johnson, Bridges, and Thomas all healthy for Brooklyn. So pretty nice little sample size, and the fact that he's went under in 4 out of 5 games is very encouraging news. So let's go check out the projections now for Spencer Dinwiddie and put a bow on today's video. Appreciate everybody joining me. First projection for Spencer Dinwiddie is a good one if you're thinking about taking the under at 27.5 because he's projected for just 24.4 points, rebounds, and assists taking on the Sacramento Kings tonight. So very big projection for the under. Again, swinging things over to RotoWire. They got him at 27.1 PRA, putting him under just barely at the 27.5 marker. And then we'll wrap this up by going over to Number Fire, busting out the calculator again because, hey, even though your teacher told you no calculators on today's test, put them away. We're going to use them to our advantage here and help us get the right math going. So 15.9 points plus 3.4 rebounds and another 6.6. That's the assists. Brings him to just 25.9 points, rebounds, and assists. Again, his line's 27.5. I think it's just a touch too high. I think you'll see this one come down to 27, maybe even 26.5 before it's all said and done here. So for me, Spencer Dinwiddie would be a less on the 27.5 PRA. Again, if you take it, and I assume that like me, your eyes like what they see. If they don't, and your gut's telling you to do something different, take the over on Spencer Dinwiddie or fade it, meaning don't take it at all. Just leave it alone. Don't take it for the more. Don't take it for less. Hey, it's your prerogative. Do what you want to do. I'm just sharing and documenting my findings for you guys. So I hope you appreciate it. If you do, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, like, and ring that bell, turn those notifications on. And if you want even more picks, guys, I'm dropping them daily on Dub Club. Join me and the rest of the community over on Dub Club. Let's win more together on Dub Club. Just 20 bucks a month, link down in the description of today's video. Appreciate you joining me. Good luck if you decide to tail any of these, and win or lose, rain or shine, I'll be back again real soon with another PrizePicks video to help you guys out. Till then, peace.